Hello, hello. If you would like to join me for a quick overview of some of the new colors offered by Moterm, then stay tuned. Hey y'all, so this is actually one of my newer videos. Some of the other videos that you have seen posted on my channel, probably the last 4 or so, have been kind of like October, November videos, and this one is December, literally I think a week before Christmas, and I thought I would kind of do a quick let's take a look at them video so that you guys can get an idea of some of the new colors that Moterm has out right now that they are offering. And sometimes it's tough when you can't find videos and pictures. You don't know, how much of a filter is on it sometimes. So I just thought it would be nice to just kind of go over this real quick. So yes, you see 3 of the new colors. I did not get the green one. Not generally a green person, although there has been an ostrich green that has caught my eye recently, but I've resisted. So just because I know I'm not like a super green person, but I thought I would show you these 3, and I'm not keeping all of these, but I wanted to do a video before I list any others for sale and they go off to new homes. So let's take a look. So we'll start, let's see, left to right. So let's move this stuff over. And so every Moterm comes with a hard box, and I will show you. So a hard box similar to like what you would get from Gillio. So they're definitely hard, branded with the Moterm name. And then you get this like velvety kind of pouch. It's very nice, a very good way to, it's just like a drawstring to be able to keep your planner covers nice and stored. And you also, this is the Personal Luxe, I can't speak line, Luxe, I'm not sure. And so you also do get a fly leaf that on one side has a slanted pocket and nothing on the other side but an elasticated pen loop. So that is standard. Then you will see it is standard for them to have the 2 buttons so that you can, if it gets really fat, you can expand that, or if it's not as fat, you can go in a little bit further. And let's get into the inside. Now, this is personal size, so you get personal size inserts. This one is just kind of like a memo insert. As you can see, you can kind of color in the day and write the date and so on and so forth. And then this is the inside. So I do always like to talk about this, especially with ring planners, so this one, as you can see, straight out of the box without using it, you have to train it flat quite a bit to get it, super flat. So it's still a little wobbly. Obviously you can hold the rings and you can kind of train it back that way and do that. I'm not going to do that just because I know that this is one of the ones that I'm going to be selling, so I don't want to go too crazy on something I'm not going to keep. But they did make a few changes with this line. They put the little leather flap covering the zipper. I really like that touch. I wish that was something that Gillio would look at and do with their zippers, because it is nice to have your stuff protected with the leather versus a zipper digging in. They are using YKK, so that is a nice zipper pull, and there is a gusseted, not super big gusset, you can see right there, but it is a gusseted pocket. And you can always add like a little charm on this, because it's a fairly large loop there, so you could make it so that it's a little bit easier to grab a hold of. They have a pocket here, and this is like a vinyl-y material on the inside. It is not leather. They have a pocket here, and then 4 card slots there. And then they have a big secretarial pocket. Love my secretarial pockets, so that is really nice. And then on the back side, they have another big secretarial pocket, 2 slip pockets, 4 more card slots, and then the same. And I really appreciate this. I appreciate that they make one side the same as the other. It always drives me nuts when this pocket and then this pocket's up here, or I like a uniform look on mine. And I really like that added touch with doing 2 slip pockets there in the back. And then a big back pocket in the back with that same kind of vinyl-y type material. Okay, so, and then an elasticated pen loop, which again, I love the elasticated pen loop. And then as you see, they just have their branded tag on the side there. So pretty, I don't want to say simple layout. I mean, it's a nice layout because it's definitely well thought out, but let's just look at, so Moterm's leathers are definitely not going to be like you cannot, in my opinion, as someone that has owned a lot of Gillios, and I still own a couple Gillios, and I own a lot of Vanderspec because Vanderspec is kind of more my go-to. You can't compare the leathers to Moterm leathers. And obviously, you know, the price point is much different. So one of these, paying for shipping, you're looking at to your door, this Personal Luxe being close to about $80. So in US dollars, versus something of this size, which is probably it's more similar to the Franklin Covey size, excuse me. And they do have 30mm rings in this one, but so if this had 25mm rings, it would fit the Franklin Covey, or Covey, however you say it. It would fit the FCC inserts perfectly, which that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm gonna get some 25mm rings and use that versus the 30s, because I don't personally like the 30mm. But so that's my plan. And so it would fit that nicely. But you're talking with a Gillio or a Vanderspec being in the few $100 range versus under $100. So they do offer squared corners, as you can see. And their stitching, it definitely, I would say over time, the more that they've made, has become a lot better. Some of the earlier ones, as they were starting out, it might get a little wonky. And I mean, sometimes with their back stitch, it can still, you know, be a little wonky, but it's really not bad. But the leather, as I was saying before, it's not going to be the same. This is definitely more of a pebbled leather. Now, with that said, this is going to hold up to water and stains a little bit better than the than any like veg tanned or full grain leathers. So it definitely is still a nice quality, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying leather wise, this one will have more of a kind of plasticky feel versus the kind of soft and supple leather of like a Polka or Janet leather. It definitely, one more time. Like legit, my smell is still pretty whacked out from having COVID back in October, but it's still, what I can smell is a bit kind of chemically. It's not like that, ooh, nice leather kind of smell. So it's not overwhelming, but it's more of that like soapy kind of smell, if you catch me there. So this particular one is in the mustard color, yellow mustard color. So it's coming off right here. It's coming off fairly true. It's definitely what I would consider like a gray poupon mustard. So it's not yellow completely. It's certainly not orange. It's sort of like in between those two. So that's that one. Then we have, and I think that they straight up call this burgundy. I'd have to look back on the website, but I think that this is the burgundy one. So on camera, it definitely looks more red or bricky, but off camera, it is certainly more on, it has more purple hues to it in my eyes than those red hues. But I do have a lot of light in the room right now, and so it's coming off more kind of bricky colored, kind of like Van der Speck's blackberry juice. But let me cut the light off. Yeah, and so see, you can see very quickly when I shut my camera light off how it's more on that purple hue side of burgundy versus the red. And while we're at it, let's just look at the, and this actually, this comes off more yellow than it does mustard, which is weird, but it does. My camera is definitely, you can see the shadow of my camera, but it's definitely showing more of a yellow, whereas this one is not as yellow, it's more mustard. And my daughter can attest to that because she was choosing which one she wanted, and yellow and orange are her two favorite colors. And she was just like, this one just isn't yellow enough. It's definitely more on that, you know, mustardy kind of side, which it's still absolutely beautiful. This one will be for sale, by the way. So I don't know, this video is probably gonna go up after it's already sold, but this is one of the ones that is going to be listed. So there's that. So there's the burgundy with the low light, more on that kind of purpley side. I'll open the inside, same exact configuration with all those same pockets. And this one I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm toying with keeping it and using it for work, but I don't know yet. I'll decide. I'm not sure. I have so many planners. I don't really need it. I really couldn't decide which one that I wanted. And I thought, honestly, straight up, I thought this would be a great video that isn't gonna cost me a fortune to be able to show you guys some offerings of other planners, and you know, and then just sell it, and I shouldn't lose any of my money doing that. But I do like this one, but like I said, I'm not a huge fan of 30mm rings because I just don't use them. And with 25mm rings, this would hold the Franklin Covey compact inserts really nicely. Okay, I'm gonna bunny trail really quick. So this is a Gilio Amica, and my brain is not working, so it's taking me longer to speak. And I do have the FCC inserts in here, and it fits perfectly without using side tabs. And so, and actually I made my own dividers, and I made one probably a little bit bigger than I should, but I don't care. So I've considered keeping this one, putting 25mm in it so that I can have two covers that I can bounce back and forth depending on the whim of my fancy on what color I want to be in. But I love a classic black, and like, look how easy it is to just kind of spiff it up. But anywho, so that was a bunny trail, sorry. Let's turn the light back on. And so yeah, there you go. Like I said, you do get that fly leaf, and you do get those inserts as well. But I don't like personal size, like standard personal size ever. It's just too small for me. But then let's go to the Definite Keeper, because this is the one that my daughter chose. And this particular one is called Burnt Orange. And even where you're seeing it right there, that's lighter than it actually is. Let's shut that light off again. And it's coming out similar to color. It's definitely darker than this. This is the one that my daughter decided that she was going to choose between this and the yellow. And then I'm up in the air. I may or may not keep it. I'm really enjoying the one that I'm using for my business, but you know, it's nice to have options. And this is kind of a nice, cheaper option that I don't have to worry about getting really grody. But yeah, I just haven't decided. So side by side, this is where it is. And so you'll see, let's just go back on the color a little bit on the light, sorry. So there's a little bit of light, but still I have a lot of natural light coming in here. So the mustard, the burnt orange, and the burgundy, I did post a picture without a filter on my Instagram if you guys are curious about these colors. But this one's a tough one to really get. Even like looking at the Moterm website, I had a hard time either between the website or their Instagram photos on trying to figure out what this color really looked like. And I'm like trying to trick my camera into showing y'all. It's really not coming across. It's definitely coming across lighter than it really is. It's coming across more yellow, whereas it's definitely more mustard with those kind of orangey kind of hues to it. It is a beautiful color, and I do like it, but mostly I purchased these two so my daughter could decide between the two, and she chose the burnt orange, which her name is Amber, and so orange has always been her favorite color, go figure. And she just knew that this one would probably be more classic for her, and it would be something that she would like longer. So, and that was something I kind of, that's a closer picture, still darker than that, but I did do a poll on my Instagram, and that was something somebody brought up, is kind of going with more of the classic colors because you get tired of the ones that maybe are more seasonal. And I do have to agree with that a little bit, for sure. I am a kind of person that really does enjoy a pastel year-round because that's just me and how my brain works. But some people kind of go in and out of seasons. They only want the pastels in the spring, and they want colors like this in the fall, and even some in the summer. And then, you know, they want to go in the winter to, you know, more of the blacks and reds and such for Christmas decoration. I just don't do that necessarily with my covers. I don't seasonally decorate them anymore. I did used to, but I'm just too busy for that now, and I don't really have the time to constantly be changing out the guts of my planners. Maybe if I had them ready and it was easy to change, I would, but I don't, and I don't really want to think about it. Kind of gives me anxiety. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. But I just really wanted to show you guys these color offerings in case you are interested in purchasing, because they offer these colors in many of the different lines, whether they're for the Hobonichi Weeks or for their standard size companion, personal wide, like all the things come in these colors. So I just thought that maybe you guys would like to take a look at that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.